A major decision has been made, and pressing questions now echo across the K-pop community. Why was only Jungkook announced to have renewed his contract, while Taehyung's name, a BTS member equally popular, was nowhere to be found in the official statement? Is this a sign of internal division? Is there a silent conflict that has long been hidden from the public? And even more shocking, is it true that HYBE has taken a drastic step that has left millions of ARMY feeling betrayed? In an official press release issued by HYBE labels in the early hours of South Korea's time, the statement confirmed that Jungkook, one of the youngest and also main vocalists of BTS, had signed a long-term contract extension with the legendary group. However, instead of celebrating the news in full, the atmosphere on social media turned tense and rife with speculation. The reason? Not a single word, not even a hint, mentioned Kim Taehyung, also known as V, in the structure of BTS's future. Was this an oversight? Or was it intentional? This question is not merely rhetorical. When it comes to BTS, a global music group that has made history and redefined the influence of Korean pop culture, every detail, no matter how small, carries major implications. The absence of Taehyung's name in what should have been a unifying announcement has instead opened a floodgate of wild speculation that continues to spiral, nearly unstoppable. Several internal sources, who asked to remain anonymous, stated that the absence of Taehyung's name in the list of members who renewed their contracts was not a coincidence. In fact, some industry analysts suspect rising tension between HYBE management and certain BTS members, especially regarding creative direction and artistic independence following their military service. The fact that Jungkook signed a new contract only serves to further highlight the different personal decisions among the members. Looking deeper, Jungkook's decision was not a sudden move. Over the past few months, Jungkook has shown tremendous commitment to projects under HYBE's label, including the launch of his solo album, which received massive promotion. He also appeared actively in various international events, highlighting his strategic position as one of the company's commercial frontmen. Meanwhile, Taehyung, though highly active in acting and editorial photo shoots, seemed more independent in managing his career. But does this mean Taehyung will not return to BTS? Or is he negotiating different terms, perhaps emphasizing artistic freedom? Some observers believe the management's silence regarding Taehyung's contract status is a deliberate communication tactic meant to hold public expectation or as part of an ongoing negotiation strategy. On the other hand, some see it as a quiet farewell that has been long planned. The situation became even more complicated when reports from Korean media claimed that Taehyung did not attend the last internal meeting between BTS members and HYBE executives that discussed the group's direction post-2025. This information has not been officially confirmed, but strengthens assumptions that there are dynamics some parties prefer to keep hidden from the public. HYBE's involvement in managing each member's individual brand is also seen as a factor contributing to the confusion. In the midst of this tension, several senior ARMY members have even accused HYBE of favoritism towards Jungkook, who in recent years has indeed become the main commercial face of the label. They highlighted how the decision to release this news without mentioning all members creates a confusing and conflict-prone atmosphere. Instead of being a celebration of BTS's golden era return, this moment has brought new wounds to fans who have long fought to preserve the group's solidarity. So far, Big Hit Music's official statements remain ambiguous. In an additional release published later in the day, they stated that negotiations with other members are still ongoing and that every decision will be announced transparently once finalized. However, for many ARMY, that statement is not enough to calm the already burning disappointment, especially considering that BTS has always been known as a group that values unity and consensus. Does Jungkook's decision to renew his contract indicate that he will take on a more dominant role in BTS moving forward? Is Taehyung considering a permanent departure from the group, or is he preparing a major move that has yet to be revealed? And what about the positions of other members like Jimin, Jin, Suga, RM, and J-Hope in this new dynamic? These questions now hang in the air, while fans are left to speculate about BTS's future direction. What is certain is that this news has drastically changed public perception. Jungkook's contract renewal, which should have been good news, has now become the main catalyst for collective unrest, especially since Taehyung's name, the group's emotional and visual icon, has yet to surface on the negotiation table. However, in the midst of the rapid flow of information and public opinion, a fundamental question emerges that we must reflect on together. Does all the circulating news truly reflect the reality behind the scenes of the Korean entertainment industry? Or is it merely a constructed narrative designed to attract attention, create speculation, and amplify sensation amidst the information drought during BTS's hiatus? Let us examine further. When a viral piece of news emerges based solely on TikTok clips, YouTube reaction videos, or screenshots from anonymous Twitter accounts, to what extent can we consider that information credible? Are we consuming reality, or merely digesting rumors convincingly packaged? More importantly, are we, as the public, as fans, as members of a digital society, still capable of distinguishing between valid facts and narratives shaped by algorithmic trends? We must ask, why haven't official HYBE or BIGHIT channels provided a comprehensive and transparent explanation regarding the status of all BTS members? Why was only Jungkook announced, while Taehyung was absent from public communications? Is this purely due to ongoing negotiation processes? Or is there a particular agenda deliberately being concealed? Is the company testing public reaction before making further decisions? It must be noted that much of the information that forms the basis of this opinion comes from social media sources that cannot always be independently verified. Speculative videos on TikTok, angry Twitter comments, or dramatic narratives on YouTube reaction channels often blur facts and opinions. Thus, as intelligent audiences, we must refuse to become passive consumers of instant narratives. We must ask, what is the motive behind spreading this information? Who benefits? Who is harmed? Is it possible that the lack of official information about Taehyung is being exploited by content speculators to create disinformation for the sake of clicks and engagement? Is this a true reflection of BTS's internal dynamics, or merely a representation of the public's thirst for drama and conflict, then exploited by certain parties? Being critical of information does not mean being cynical. Skepticism does not mean rejecting all possibilities. In fact, by questioning deeply and filtering each information source, we demonstrate a higher concern for the truth. Therefore, we invite all readers, fans, and observers of the K-pop industry not to immediately believe every narrative circulating on social media, especially those sourced from anonymous accounts or unverified media. Do you believe that Jungkook's decision to renew his contract truly marks the beginning of a new chapter for BTS? Or is this merely a corporate strategy to maintain stock stability and meet investor expectations? And more importantly, does Taehyung's absence from this public discourse signal that something bigger, perhaps shocking, is being prepared behind the scenes? We encourage you to discuss, share, and respond to this information openly, but always with analytical sharpness and awareness of potential information manipulation. The real truth is often hidden beneath layers of opinion, emotion, and massively crafted narratives. And it is our task to uncover it.